and he's just standing there watching these doe.
I drew back and freaking smoked it. What just happened? Oh, I see him now, baby. Yeah, buddy.
I hunted last night, spot I call Picnic Cove, and one of my target bucks daylighted about 250 yards to the south there at like a little after 4 o'clock. I'm hoping with any luck, maybe he'll come back in there tonight where I was. So there's a big thicket in there. There's lots of does. It's always got a lot of does in that area. So we'll see what happens tonight though. This year I decided to run a couple cameras in a spot that I really never ran velvet cameras. It's a spot that's really hard to get to, but I just said I'm gonna put all the effort I can this year and to make sure I do everything I can to find these bucks. And I started getting pictures of this buck, and I was like, wow, this deer, the same 10 from last year, he made a huge jump in mass. And he didn't put on much for tine length. Actually, he lost some tine length on his right side, but just the mass was incredible on this buck. It looked like he had just a baseball bat coming out of his head on his right side, and he had really good mass on his left. I thought, man, if this deer gets into the center part of the farm early season where we've got some food plots, maybe we can have some action on him. Heading into my spot here, and wind is, man, it's breezy. Glad I staked the blind down, but it's supposed to taper off here. It's been just giving a little bit of gusts here. So cloud cover's rolling in, and with any luck, hopefully have some action tonight. I got a ground blind in here, and it's right where 2 of my target bucks have been in pretty frequent. So hopefully with any luck, one of them will show up tonight. So we'll get into blind and get set up and hopefully have some action.
Last night I sat here and I saw a handful of does, but one of my target bucks, 2 of them have been in this cove quite a bit. So with any luck, maybe tonight he'll be back in here. There's a big thicket over here. The deer move pretty good through here, so we'll see if anything moves tonight. I can hear some turkeys yelping. I bet they're coming this way. Yeah, there's turkeys coming right here.
So I'm filming these turkeys. They're literally like 5 yards, less than 5 yards, just pecking around and just clucking and purring and carrying on. So the turkeys walk off, and as they walk off, I decided I was gonna put on my quarter zip. I had a little hoodie on, so I took all my stuff off and had just put on my quarter zip and was putting on a vest. I look up and there was a big doe standing there about 30 yards staring. She's a little bit nervous, and I don't know if she's nervous because she sees me. Like, I had just sat down, just put my vest, everything back on. She starts going to the north. She got a yearling with her, and I'm filming them, and I still haven't even put my release on. As I'm filming these deer, I catch more movement behind them, and I look up and it's my number 2. It's the buck with all the mass, and he's just standing there watching these does. I'm like getting into panic mode because I don't have anything ready, and I'm trying to film. I'm reaching down for my bow. I'm making just a ton of racket.
What just happened? I had to fiddle around to put my release on. It's not even through the loop or buckled. I knocked it. He was in the main window and I got the camera on him. He started to walk. I drew back and freaking smoked him. Oh my God. What a year. What a freaking year.
So after I shoot the buck and get out of the blind, I knew I'd hit this deer perfect. I walked over, found the arrow, there's blood everywhere, and I just couldn't wait to go take a look at him.
I see him now, baby. Yeah, buddy.
Man, I tell you what an unbelievable evening I had tonight. I was able to just get meet up with Joe, and he came in here to help me get this big boy out. And I tell you what, this is actually the first deer I've ever self-filmed, which is pretty crazy. But this buck last night, it's December the 8th, and last night on the 7th, he daylighted about 250 yards from me cruising. And the last few years I've noticed that these deer the first 10 days of December, so, you know, they're starting to shift pretty heavy to food. However, they're still looking. And I was fairly confident that if I got in his roundhouse, maybe I'd see him tonight. And at 3:35, he come out following a big doe. And just couldn't believe it. I literally was just in the blind for a very short time. I was filming some turkeys, looked up, and a big doe stepped out, and I didn't have my release on. I wasn't ready or anything. And looked over and seen this buck behind her, and he ended up making his way over. I got my release aid on, got an arrow knocked, and was fortunate enough to make a great shot. Just an unbelievable day. It's been a fantastic season. The best season of my life between these two bucks and my kids both killing bucks. So couldn't be happier, and hope everybody else is having success.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by DeerCast, the most advanced deer movement predictor ever.